Oh, Busaya, how are you? Hello, Busaya. I think you joined the last class. This meeting is being recorded, okay?
Hi,
Busaya,
hi Samuel.
yes.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, this is Wale.
Okay. Yes, please.
Yeah,
Wale
yeah.
is the okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Wale, please.
Go on.
Wale is the organizer of this training, right? We are on his platform, is the one arranging most of the stuff. So please, let's appreciate him for the good work that he has done so far. Please, Wale, over to you. Hello, Wale.
Yeah. I'm on the road. I thought I would have gotten home before the session starts. So my network is breaking. If you can hear me, that's fine. But I'm sure before the session ends, I'm going to join and then I would be able to speak. I just thought I should mention that somewhere.
Okay, thank you very much, Wale. Thank you, thank you. Great, greatly appreciate this. Yeah. Like I said, you're welcome, everyone. I'll just take time to introduce myself and I'll give a few minutes for general introduction by everyone so that we can kick off the class. I'm Samuel Ajayi, for those of you that don't know me already. Yeah. Um, I'm a data analyst, a data scientist, and also do project management as part of what I do currently. I'm here in the UK. I currently work with Artword. I'm also an Excel tutor with Borderless Tech, which is the platform on which we are giving out this free training. I think Wally, we have more time to talk about it later. Yeah, so in a nutshell, that is it for now. So uh, I will open the floor for anyone that wants to introduce himself to go ahead and do that. Yeah, we have the first 15 minutes to do that, then we can kickstart the class. Yeah, introduction is very important because this is a place where we can get to meet each other and you can never know where this might help us get to. So it's very, very important that you take this part seriously and yeah, use it as an opportunity to meet people. Really, every opportunity to meet new people, to make good relationship should be well appreciated, and you can make use of this. So, who is starting for us?
Hi, good evening, everyone. Can you hear
Good
me?
evening, Yonoluwa.
Yes, my name is Yanoluwa Akomarase. I'm joining from Lagos, Nigeria. Um, I'm currently a project manager looking to delve into data analysis. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Yonoluwa. Next person.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, Audia. My name is Innocent Egbo. Currently residing in the UK. I'm an accountant and I'm looking forward to becoming a data analyst.
Okay, welcome, Innocent.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, Dami.
I'm Damila by name. I'm administrator. I'm on my way transiting to business and I'm trading.
Your line is really breaking. I don't think I got most of the things you said. But that's
Can you
fine.
hear me clearly now?
Yeah, try again.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, that looks better.
Okay. currently work with teachers as administrator. So I'm transiting to business, more knowledge on that. Okay.
Okay, Dami, that's fine. I still didn't
Yeah.
get most of the things you said, but it's okay. At least I got the part that you're an administrator or you're, yeah, at least I got that part. That's fine. Please, next person.
Hello, everyone. Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening.
My name is Uche. I currently live in the UK. Immediately I saw this data analysis class, I saw it as an opportunity to transcend into data analyst.
What do you currently do, please?
Yeah, I work as a business operation assistant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good evening, everyone.
Anybody? Okay, Titila, yeah, go ahead.
So sorry, my voice is a bit. But this Titilayo, I'm an accountant, and I want to learn data analytics for work, and also if I'm able to transition into tech, really, but majorly for work now. Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, very relevant for accounting and people in accounting also because yeah, you have basic calculations to be using Excel and any other stuff. Okay, any other person?
Yeah, good evening, everyone. My name is Jude Lawani. I'm here in the UK. I'm into healthcare, and my original background is business studies. I'm actually looking to delve into or transit into business analytics. And when I got this opportunity, I said, look, this is just the right time to go for it. Thank you so much for this opportunity, Ajayi. I'm so grateful.
You're welcome, Jude. Welcome.
Hi. Hi, my name is Kola. I'm currently in the UK as well. And I am an admin administrator.
Alima, please, can you mute yourself? Alima,
Okay.
can you mute yourself, please?
Like I said, I'm an administrator, and currently I live in the UK, and I'm interested in the business analytics as I saw the invitation for this. I mean, I'm quite interested, and I think it's something that I would love to go into. Thank you.
Okay, beautiful. You're welcome, Kola.
Hi
Hello.
everyone.
Hi, welcome.
My name is Eki. I'm in Lagos, Nigeria. I work as a compliance analyst. I've always
As a
wanted
what,
to do
sorry?
compliance analyst.
Oh, okay.
Compliance, yes. I've always wanted to do data analyst because it makes my work as the compliance analyst effective, especially when detection of crime and risk management, so to speak.
Okay,
So it
that's
makes
great.
it easier and effective, yes.
Welcome, okay. No.
Hello.
Okay, Philip, go on.
Yeah, my name is Philip. I'm presently in the UK. I work as a healthcare assistant, and I'm a beginner actually in tech. I'm hoping to transition into the tech space. So I think business data analytics will be a course of interest to me. So that was the reason why I joined, and I appreciate what you're doing. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Philip. Thank you. Okay. Any other person?
Good evening. My
Good
name is
evening.
Valerie from Lagos, Nigeria. Actually, a beginner in web development. So when I got this opportunity, like also move into data analysis, fine, let me go for it. So thank you very much.
You're welcome, Valerie.
Yeah, my name is Awoyade Cousin. Presently in UK, I'm an administrator. Presently working as a teacher assistant. Would like to transit into data analytics. Thank you for giving us this opportunity.
You're welcome, cousin. Welcome. Good to have you.
Hi, good evening. My name is Ayola. I currently reside in the United Kingdom as well. My background is in finance and economics. I currently work as an healthcare assistant as well, and I picked a very keen interest when I saw your platform. So thank you very much for dedicating this time to us. Thank you.
You're welcome, Ayaz.
Hello, my name is Yusuf. My background is in computer science. I currently work as a print operator, and I'm very much interested in transition to data analytics. And thank you so much for this opportunity.
You're welcome, Yusuf. Okay, 2 more minutes. Any other person?
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Arya. My background is in computer science, and I'm currently doing my master's in international business with data analytics. Yeah, I'm here in the UK, and I'm just trying to learn, add more knowledge about to transition into the field and start working as a data analyst. Thank you.
Yeah, that's a good one. Well done. Good to have you here, Aya.
Thank you.
Good evening.
Okay. Good evening.
Okay, I'm Daniel Chukwu by name. My background is in microbiology. I studied microbiology as in my undergraduate studies, and right now I'm just a freelancer. I'm a blogger. I blog on health niche. I'm a niche blogger, so I blog on health niche, and also on sport too as well. Currently, I'm pursuing another undergraduate studies on community and environmental health. So I think this is going to be very, very interesting. I mean, it's going to be very, very useful for me because I'm looking at doing my master's on bioinformatics, microbiology, the field of microbiology.
That's great, really. At least I know a bit of microbiology and the application of data analysis in all the stuff is really relevant for you to apply it to that area, and you find it really useful. Okay. Any other person?
Yes. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, Lucky.
My name is Lucky Raphael. I live in the UK. I had a background in economics. Though I work with a production company back here in the UK. When I saw your invitation for this program, I was very delighted, and I said, no, I'm going to be part of it. And thank you for the opportunity given to us to be part of this program.
Okay, you're welcome. Welcome. Good to have you. Really good to have you. So that's what we can take for now. But if you have the opportunity to speak, please do well to introduce yourself before you speak. Maybe you want to ask a question or you want to contribute. Please, we're open to contribution and everything that's necessary to help us maximize this class throughout this 4-week period, right? So if you've not done the introduction now, you have the opportunity to speak at any point in time during the training. Please use the opportunity to introduce yourself, and we will appreciate that. I can see somebody doing a good work already, so I would want her to continue. Is it Judith? Hello, Judith. Are you here?
Hi, yes, I'm here.
Yeah, good to have you here. Please, you will help us ensure some form of decorum. So if maybe there is a noise in the background and there needs to be some just let the person know to mute. Will that be okay?
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you.
You're welcome. Which other thing? Okay. If there's any other thing that we need to do as we move on in the class, I will let you know that. As of yesterday, I shared a few things with you in a mail. I believe that most of you have that mail already. That would help us into this class. But let me share my screen. Let me share my screen so that you see what But I sent you that data set. Peradventure, you want to follow me along while we're walking through the whole process. You can do that. Host the disabled participant. Hello, Wale. Are you still there?
Hi, Samuel. Can you hear me?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
I just noticed that I can't share my screen. So if you
Oh,
can enable me, please. Yeah.
That's interesting. So please let me just quickly check that. Samuel, what account name are you using?
Oh, okay. That might be a problem. I just don't know me that this is a different
Okay.
account name. SEA.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
C22. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, this I think I joined another meeting using this. I forgot to log out and log in using my normal.
Yeah. I've made you an host now.
Okay.
Check,
Yeah, thank you.
Check if you can share it.
Okay. Yeah, I can. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Hi, Samuel. Sorry to cut in. I don't know if it's possible for you to share the link to this data set. I didn't get an email about that.
Can somebody help me do that, please? You understand what I want you to do? What I want you to do? Who just answered that question, please?
It's Yanua.
Yeah, no, Lua. So where do you want us to share it now? On the WhatsApp group?
If it's a link to a drive, you can drop. I'm not even in the WhatsApp. Maybe that's why I didn't see it.
I sent it in email. So how do you want us to share it now? We can.
If it's a link to maybe a drive or something, share it in the chat room here.
Do you know what? This is what you no, it's not in any drive at the moment. I can't refer you to any drive. I just wish there's a way we can. Can you drop your number on this chat so that somebody can okay, please, can somebody drop the WhatsApp link to this chat so that she can quickly join the group? Then yeah, somebody has dropped the WhatsApp. I said the WhatsApp link, not Zoom link, please. Drop the WhatsApp link on this chat so that Ionulwa will join the WhatsApp group. Then somebody should help us share that Excel document in that WhatsApp group. Is that okay?
Yes, that's fine. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's all right.
Hello. Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Babatunde Akofe. I'm currently here in the UK. I'm a student of MS Data Science and Analytics at University of Hertfordshire. I'm not in the WhatsApp group, and I don't also have the link to the data set. I think it would be better if they send it to this chat. You can all have access to the link.
Can you download Excel from a WhatsApp chat? Is that possible?
Yes, you can, because my WhatsApp is on my laptop, so I can download the
Okay, please, if we can do that, please, let's quickly do that. Somebody should help us do that, please. Really, I can't at the moment, so that I don't spend too much time trying to figure that out.
Sorry, Mr. Jai. I feel like every single person on this call are not currently on the WhatsApp group, and we don't have access to the link.
Okay, Judith. Oh, sorry. Did anyone get my email yesterday?
Yeah, the email you sent was to welcome us and also the link to the Zoom call. That was what was in the email body. That was what
The
I
WhatsApp,
received.
the WhatsApp group was not, the WhatsApp link was not in it.
No, it wasn't attached to it.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, that's really, sorry, give me a minute then. I would send this now. So sorry about that. Copy link. But okay. I will share it myself now. Just give me a minute. It's chats. So the group had just been sent. Right. Let me see if I can attach anything on this. You cannot attach on this. You cannot attach in. What is this art sign? What am I able to do using this art sign? Okay, I don't know what that is. Okay, so I've just shared the WhatsApp group. So you can join using that WhatsApp group. And then somebody can share the Excel file using that WhatsApp group. Hope that is okay. Is that okay?
Sorry, I have a question regarding the data set. Is it possible for us to receive it via email because of I'm using two systems, one to join the class and one to practice the exercise. So and the system I'm using to practice anything that will be given, I don't have any WhatsApp on it, it's just email.
What I'm saying is, did any of you get my email yesterday? I thought I sent that data set to you guys in a mail yesterday.
No,
I only received your email for the
mail
class.
you sent yesterday was just like a welcome email and then the Zoom link to the class.
Exactly.
That's what I see.
So you didn't say anything. You said anything. The only thing, okay, sorry, you sent, but the only thing you sent was a reminder.
Yes, that's what I received as well.
So there's nothing like data set or WhatsApp group link.
Okay. Just give me a minute.
Sorry, I think you can actually copy the link and paste it on the chat. It's just the same way you pasted the WhatsApp link. I don't know if that's possible.
Which link now?
The link to the data set. I think you can just copy it and paste it on the chat. The same way you copied and pasted the WhatsApp link.
It's not a link, it's a file or it's a folder. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. Just give me a minute.
You can actually attach a file to chat.
You can attach a file on Excel, on Zoom?
Yes, you
Yes,
can.
yes, you can. You can actually attach.
Okay, let me check that.
And I'm here to see the WhatsApp link, group link.
Check on the chat, it's there, the WhatsApp link.
Okay. You mean this chat here on the app?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, please.
Are you sure the link is correct? It's saying it's incorrect when I click on it.
It's saying that it's incorrect.
No, I have joined already. It's correct. Maybe
It's correct.
it's correct. I've joined already.
I just joined.
Yeah.
It's on the advanced Excel class, right? Yeah.
Yes, please.
Yeah, you joined, yeah. All right.
Oh, okay. Just give me a minute about your computer, desktop. That thing, I think it's in desktop. Okay, give me a minute. I will share the folder now on your on this chat so that you can then first class. open. This file is in use. Enter a new name. Okay, I have to close that first. Screen sharing are stopped as the shared window is closed. Okay, I've just shared that folder and I will share another one just so that you have everything we will need for today's class. Okay. So I want to believe that we all have it now, right? Have we seen what I shared?
Well, sorry, where did you share it? Is it in the chat box? Wait.
Yes, please.
All right.
How's it gone?
It's still, my friend. It's still, we didn't see still.
No,
You didn't see it?
No. In the chat box, no. In the Zoom chat box, no. I can't find it.
You still can't find it? Maybe it's take first class.
I can't see anything.
Distance. So have you seen it now? Have you all seen it?
No.
No, not.
No, but I don't know. I think everybody we can join the link now if it can be sent to the WhatsApp group. We can't see any link here, the document shared here.
Yeah. Since we're all in the WhatsApp group, so it's better it's sent there. I'm probably
Okay.
pinned now.
Yeah, I think I've seen it.
It's there
You,
now.
you've seen it, right?
Yeah.
There, now
Yeah.
you just turn up.
Okay, sorry. It just dawned on me that I'm sending to just one person, Valerie. Valerie, you should have told us that you saw it. So I just changed to everyone. Sorry about that.
I dropped the message already, guys.
Okay. So I've sent 2 documents there.
Please, can you share it? Can you share it to the WhatsApp link, because I'm using 2 devices too.
Okay,
So
that's fine. That's all right. That's all right.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. This has taken quite some time. Desktop. Sorry about this. I should have. Okay, you sent it there, right? Okay, thank you. So let me concentrate on. Okay, I'm going to share my screen. Of course, I want to believe that. Please mute yourself if you are. Just mute yourself, please. Okay.
Okay, please mute yourself.
Okay, guys. So can we see the data set together now? Let's be sure that's where. Can we all see the data set on the screen?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So this is different data sets that we'll be using. And I'll just start by introducing Excel to us. I believe in one way or the other, you've used Excel before. I want to believe that that's not an assumption. But either way, you have several tabs in Excel, right, which are very, very important. You have the file, you have the home, you have the inserts, the page layouts, the formulas, the data, the review. If you've worked with Microsoft Word before, you can apply what you've learned in Microsoft Word to what you have here. So there are several tabs, and if you click on it, right, it brings a lot of other things for you to play with. We're currently on the Home tab, right? And on the Home tab, you can change the text style. You can do the formatting, general formatting, right? You can do what we call a wrap test. You can merge cells, right? There are a lot of things you can do here. You can sort and filter, which is part of what we'll be talking about very soon. Find and select, we'll go there too, debate, right? Then you have the insert, where you can insert a pivot table, the recommended pivot. We'll do pivot table maybe next week or next 2 weeks, right? We have recommended charts, which obviously we should be able to touch next week. We have what we'll call a slicer and many others. This is just an overview here. You have the page layout here, you can which you can use to format your page and put it in the order that you want it to be, right? Formulas are very important because it contains a lot of things that you'll be working with as a data analyst, a data scientist, and if you do calculations for the accountants and all the rest, right? You have auto sum, you have average, you have count numbers, maximum, minimum. And you have a lot of more functions, right? If you just click on that more functions option, you have, okay, you have the sign, the sum if, which we're going to be using today. Yeah, we should be using the sum if today. I will just explain that to you, even though, let me just add it here. So give me a minute. Okay, I should remember that. If I don't remember it, somebody should just remind me. The sum if function and many others, standard, a lot of others. Then you have the data, right? This data is also very important, right? And you'll be using this as time goes on. In fact, you'll be using that today because we'll do test to column, we'll do remove duplicates, we'll do all this while you're doing our data cleaning, data validation. I will just explain data validation for you because you might need it even if it's not for data analysis for some other things. So I will touch on that hopefully today. I'll touch that for today. And data analysis, this is something that would touch maybe next 2 weeks. Yeah, hopefully. Here we'll be looking at correlation and the descriptive statistic and some other stuff. So that's it. This review view. Basically, those are the most important in developer. Developer comes into play when you want to use some Visual Basics and macros, right? We do not touch that really because it's not very important to what we are doing. So basically, that's an overview of the Excel. Then you have what we call the formula bar. This is called the formula bar, right? If I click on a cell, for example, I click on this cell, you can see Excel is made up of rows and columns, right? So the rows are usually, is somebody saying something?
No, somebody said your screen is static.
Your screen is static. Okay, is it better now? Is it okay now?
Yeah, it's all right.
Okay. So if I click on any box, right, it tells me the role and the name of that particular cell. All these things, you can see the boxes. The boxes in Excel is called cells.
Hello, sorry, your screen is static. We are not seeing anything. It's just showing one page, which is the first one you open initially.
Okay, thank you.
Same here.
Is the
On the BC, your answer, I hope. Is it the same thing you wanted to tell me?
I don't think he's mouse. I think he's just sorry. I think he's just explaining what is showing on the screen, like the home page, and I don't think he's moving his mouth. That's what I felt.
Okay.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can hear you.
The
Good
cursor
evening,
is
sir.
moving now. The cursor
Good
is moving.
evening. Yeah, sorry. Are we together now? Can we move on, please?
Yeah.
Yes, I have a.
Yes, it's okay right now.
Okay, somebody
don't know if you
wanted to
can
ask
hear
a question. Yeah, I can hear you in the BC. Your answer, up, please.
Sir, well done. I really appreciate your training and all you have done. Please, I have been having network problem off and on. So my question is, can you share the video of what you have taught us today at the end of the training to our emails, please, so that I can go through what I have missed. Okay, sir. That's what I wanted to ask you, sir. Go through all I have missed, sir.
That's fine on the BC. You will get a link of the video. Is that okay? In a mail. I'll send the mail probably tomorrow or tomorrow for you. Is that okay?
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, please. Yeah, it just dawned on me that I was not sharing what I felt I was sharing. Sorry about that. Please, if you notice anything, I'm saying anything and you don't seem to be going along, just quickly let me know. You should, right? So that I make the necessary correction before this time, yeah? Because I can't go over this again. Okay, so let's move on. I was talking about the boxes in Excel. These different boxes, which you're seeing my cursor click on, are called cells. So this is a cell, right? This is a cell, and each cell has an address. Let me use the word address, right? And the address is simply the alphabet or the row, the column, and the row. Take, for example, this is C3, right? Because it's in the column C and is in the row 3. So any row you click on, you see the name of that cell box here. Take, for example, the one that we are in currently is K10. Why? Because it's in the column K and is in the row 10. Okay, that's it. Then on this other page here, right? If I type anything on the box, it appears here. Take, for example, I type loss, right? You find out that loss appears there. And that becomes really important when we're imputing formulas, right? You see those displayed in that particular section. Okay, let's move on because that's quite, if you've done Excel before, all these are more like basic stuff that you need to, know. Okay, Excel is more like a mathematics, can be used for a lot of operations, a lot of calculations, which I'll quickly introduce you in before we go into what we have for today proper. Take, for example, I'm in D5 right now. I can simply say equal to 3 plus 4, right? And click enter. You can see that it gave me the result, right? But the thing you must do is to put equal to there. If you don't put equal to and you just put 3 plus 4, right? It will leave the box as 3 plus 4. right? So you must always put equal to, right? So I can as well say equal to 16 times 8, right? And click enter. I get the result. So I can also say 56 divided by 8. Oh, sorry, there's no equal to there. So if I don't put equal to there, I will not get the required. So equal to, and I get 7, right? So these are basic operations that you do every day that Excel can just help you calculate without stress. Okay. If we come here, for example, right? That is more basic, right? We can begin to do something more difficult if we look at this data set that I've given to you, right? Let me start from here. Oh, okay. Sorry, give me a minute. Okay. So this is like a data set, right? Is the scores of students in a class, right? They've done the tests, which has been recorded. They've done test 1, test 2, and they've done exams, right? So let's compute the data for the information that we have about this student, right? So first of all, I want to know the total Olu got in mathematics, right? So first test, he got to 17.37. Second test, he got 16.50. And the third test, he got 29 point something, right? So I can simply get the total of that. What do I do to do that? I go to the box where I want the total to be. Remember when I was speaking about formulas earlier, I said formulas are very useful because you use them to get different results. But before I use the formula, let me just show you another way you can do that. I can simply go to that box, right? Simply put equal to and drag the cells that I want to add. Okay, rather, I simply add up the cells. So C4, I want to add C4, right? Plus D4 plus E4. And I click enter, right? What it does is that it adds up the different numbers in those cells and it gives me the result. So rather than saying 17 equal to 17.37 plus 16.50 plus 29.03, no, what it does is that it goes into the cell. Look at what is in the cells and add them together. So that's one of the ways I can do calculations like this. So if I go to C4, for example, right now C4 is 17.37, right? What about if I go to C4 and change 17.37 to maybe 9, right? Mark what I had before. I had 62.90. Let me say I changed that to 9 now. You will see that the answer will change based on what is in that cell. So if I change it to 9, that automatically changes my answer because it was 9 before. It was 17 point something before, but I've changed it to 9 now. So that's the advantage of using the cell, rather than the number in the cell. Because when you take, for example, you just notice that the person did not actually score 17 point something. The person scored 9 point something. So you just come here, you edit it, and that changes the results. Does that make sense? Then I can simply come here, right? Look at, I clicked on that box where I've gotten the result. I simply went to the end, right? Which changes my cursor sign from what it is currently to more like a cross, right? A thin cross. So if I double click it, it brings out the best results. Does that make sense?
No, sorry, I didn't get that. I didn't get this the second one.
So I just undo it, right? Look at what I just did. I took my cursor and I went straight to that dot at the right down end of that box of the answer I just got, right? I just go to that end there. If you notice, the cursor just changed a bit. Then I double click it. I double click from there, right? And it gives me the rest result. Is that clear now?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. I'm going to undo this because I want to, okay, let me not undo it. Let me go to another, we've done for mathematics. Let me use another method in English to show you how you can do this, right? Give me a minute. So I've done for mathematics. Let me do for English using another method. Okay, so this is for English now, right? And I want to calculate for the total. So in Excel, one thing that's very important is formulas, and I've told you about that earlier. So you'll be using formulas a lot. So you see that thing I just did earlier. Another way I could do it is just to go to formulas, right? In formulas, there are a lot of functions. There's insert function, which is sum, average, if, hyperlink, count, and all the rest. We'll be touching a lot of that for today, right? But what we are looking at when you're talking about total is definitely sum, isn't it? Simply addition. So, and I can see auto sum here. So I can simply click on the auto sum, right? The auto sum now is what I'm looking at is from I4, right? Which is the start of English, test 1. Test 1 starts from the box I4. Are you seeing that? So we have test 1 I4 for Olu, test 2 J4. So it's from I4 to K4, which has been done for me here. Can you see I4 2 in Excel? 2 is represented by a semicolon, right? So you can see that semicolon there. I4 to K4, right? So it just means that all the cells from I4 to K4 is included in what I want to sum. So, and I just click enter. Right? You can see that it has brought out that result for me. That is another way of doing what I did earlier. Rather than adding the cells, doing cell 1 plus cell 2 plus cell 3, you can just click on that, right? Click on auto sum. Ensure that the cells that you want to add from what to what is included. Like in this case, I want to add from I4, which is test 1 for the English, to K4, which is the exam for English, right? And that gives me the result. Then the same thing that I did earlier when I dropped down, I can do the same thing here. Just click, double click it, and the rest of the result comes out. Are we following?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So if you've gotten that, I will just do the same here. And equal to, I don't need to even put equal to, I just click on the box, I do auto sum, right? And I just want to ensure that the cells that is there, 04 to Q4, is what I want to capture in my sum, right? So that is it, right? Because 04 is test 1 to Q4, which is exam, right? and I click enter. That gives me the result, right? And I double click it to get the remaining total. Are we still together? Yeah, I believe we're
very
still
clear.
together.
Yeah,
I have a
great.
question.
Okay, go ahead.
The question is, when you click on that auto sum, why didn't it go all the way from A to R and A4 to R4? Why did it start from
Idowu, please mute your mic. Idowu,
Oh,
please mute
please
your
now
mic.
help us.
Okay, why didn't it go? Please,
Why didn't
mute
you take
us.
from mathematics, English, science, and add everything? Yes, good, exactly.
Okay,
Why didn't it start
yeah,
from A4? Why did it
yeah.
start from just science?
Okay, it will start from there because first of all, you can see that just before test one, there was a blank space there.
Okay, clear.
Yeah, there's just a cell that was nothing. If a cell was there, for example, let me put 9. Let me put 8. Yeah, which I will remove very soon because I don't need it. And I come here and I do auto sum. Look at what we have. Can you see that everything before the next blank space this is the next blank space, isn't it? So test 1 for English, test 2, test 3, test grade, position, everything was included. So it will include everything just before the blank space. Does that make sense?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So I'm just going to remove that because I just wanted to respond to your questions so that you see clearly what I mean. Okay, so we've been able to do that. So now we're going to look at the grade, right? So is that the best thing to do first? Okay, let's leave the grade for now. We'll come back to the grade because grade is taking us through what we can do later. So let's do something else, which is the average, right? Or which is the grand total. Let's do the grand total first. Sorry, give me a minute. What's this? Total grade. Okay. So let's get the grand total first and the cumulative, right? Which would be the total score for maths, total score for English, and the total score for science, right? So in this particular case, what I explained earlier comes very important. You cannot use auto sum for grand total. Why? It's because there are several cells in between the different totals. Do you understand? So what I must now use is what I used initially, which is equal to, then I add the different cells together rather than, so I take the first cell plus the second cell, which is English, right? Plus the total for science, which is 46, and I click enter. So that has given me the total score now, or the grand total for the 3 subjects. So I can simply go back to that cell, right? Go down to the right and down part of it and click on it, double click on it, right? It gives me the rest sum. Does that make sense?
I didn't get that part clearly, how you picked it. How you picked the individual cells.
Okay, let me undo it and try it again.
Thank you.
Okay, what I simply did here, I want to get the grand total for the 3 subjects, isn't it? And to get the grand total of the 3 subjects, all I need is to add up the total of the individual subjects, isn't it? So for mathematics first, the total for mathematics is recorded in cell F4. The total for English is recorded in L4, right? And the total for science is recorded in R4, right? So what I'm adding to get the cumulative or the grand total is F4, L4, and R4, which is the total of mathematics, English, and science. Is that okay now?
Yes,
Is it clear?
yes,
You
yes,
see it in the
yes.
formula bar, right? You see it in the formula bar, equal to F4 plus L4 plus R4.
Okay.
So I do the same as what I've always been doing, and the rest results comes up for me. Okay. So I can go to the next, right? The next thing I want to explain is the average. Is the average. So let me go over to explain average. Give me a minute. Okay, so the average of that 3 subjects. I can get, first of all, I can get the average score for mathematics. Let me start from there because it's a good place to start. So now I know that this is the total for the mathematics subject. Let me come here and put average down. Average, right? And I come here, right? So what is the average score for mathematics? So all I need to do, I want the average score to be in this box F23. So I ensure that I'm in that box and I go to, you can see this auto sum. If I can go to insert function, there are 2 ways I can do it. I can either use auto sum. If I click on, you can see a drop down in that auto sum. If I click on it, right, you can see average there. That's if you've used average before anyway. But if you don't want to use that, you can come to insert function, click on insert function, and you have average there, right? And you click OK, right? So now the average is asking you, what do you want to include in your average, right? So it's showing you already that, okay, you want to include, it's giving you an idea already. And all you need to do is to confirm if that idea is correct or not, right? So it's asking you, are you looking for average of numbers between F4 to F22, right? Look at it, F4 to let's look at where it got to, F22, which is the entire score of the mathematics students, right? So it's between F4 is the first student and F22 is the last student, which is Lawrence, right? So if I know that that is exactly what I want, I can simply click OK, and it gives me the average in mathematics. Does that make sense? Let me make it bold and even fill. Right? So that gives me the average for that, for mathematics. I can do the same for English, right? I go to formulas rather, right? What I need is average, which I can get from here, right? And it asks me do I want from L4 to L22, which is from the first cell to the last cell? You see the way it even highlights the entire cell that is considering for you. So that gives you an idea if you want it or if that's what you want or not. Right? So L4 to L22. That's what I want. So I just simply click enter. Right? And that gives me the average score for English.
Excuse me, Jai, sorry. Do you have to highlight the title, the total first before clicking the average, before going for the auto sum and then the average or the average?
No, please. Okay. No, please. You don't need to look at it. I just came to the box where I want it to be. I've not highlighted anything. Oh, right? Okay. I just click on the box. I just go to auto sum and click average. Oh, okay. Then it highlights for me. Right? Sometimes what it highlights for you is not what you want to consider. So you must be sure that what it highlights for you is what you want to consider before you click OK. Before you click enter, rather. Is that okay? So if you click enter, it brings out the results for you. All right? Okay, we do the same for science. And that's exactly what I want. So I just click enter, which is 54.3. Okay, so now I've gotten average for the individual subjects, right? Now I want to get average of the different students, right? So now you can see on the different students, for example, I have average here, right? So how do I do that? So that's the question. So I simply do the same thing. It's the same average, but it's a bit different now. So average. Question is average of what? So I can take each number. I can take each cell, just like I did for the addition. I can take each cell. So now I come to the first score for Olu. First score in mathematics, Olu. So I take that score. I put a comma, right? I take the next total for English for Olu, 62. I put another comma. And I take the total score for science, right? And I click enter. So that gives me the average score of Olu. Is that confusing? Do we understand that? Does that?
Yeah. Hello. Yeah,
Yes,
I just want to ask. Now, when you click on the formula on the box, can you just click on the boxes and not put in the comma? Will it give you the same response, or you must actually put the comma? For instance, if you just go to the average and then you go to formula and then you just go and click on the box for mathematics, then just click on the box for science and click on the box for English and click enter. Will it give you the same response as if you do the same process but and then put the comma?
Okay, let's run that thing you just said now. First of all, it will not give you the answer if you don't put the comma. Yeah. So let's just see it so that you know exactly what you get if you don't put the comma. Can you see what you got? It doesn't make sense to the system, right?
Okay.
Yeah, so you must put a comma. You're listing things. That's what you're listing things, even in English. You know, this is, to be frank with you, this is programming. This writing of formulas has a bit to do with programming. Yeah. And of course, generally Python, SQL, whatever program you're writing, when you're listing things, you must use a comma, sometimes a semicolon. Yeah, it's a semicolon to list them. So in this case, in Excel, use a comma. Yeah, you must not put a space. Just putting a comma just makes them understand, okay, you're trying to list something, yeah? But you can also put a space if you want to. It won't change anything, right? Earlier, I put a space. Now I'm not putting any space, and you can see that the results are still the same. Okay, does that answer your question?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Okay. So I did the same. I double click it and it gives me the average for every other person.
Hello?
Right? Are you with me?
Hello?
Yeah,
Yes, I
yeah,
can hear you. Go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah, it's clear.
Hello, please. I want to ask a question.
Okay,
Okay.
about
Okay, so on the average, let's assume that the three different columns we want to work on, they are side by side together. Do I still need to put the comma?
No, of course, it will highlight it for you. Just like what I did earlier now. Remember when I was getting the average of different subjects, I didn't have to put that comma and list out the different cells. Can you remember that?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm using the comma now because the cells are different from each other.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, can we move on? Or is there still questions on this?
Yeah, it's clear on my end.
Okay. So, give me a minute. This stuff is blocking my view.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead, Femi.
Yeah, I thought there is a command that you can hold down a key, then you press on the cells you want to sum together instead of doing comma. Does it work? Like if you press down maybe control key or function key, I don't know which one, then you press on the cells you want to sum or get average for, rather than having to put comma.
No, I don't think. No.
All right.
I don't think, yeah.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so that is that for average. Yeah. Okay, now let me say I want to get the minimum. And let's see. I want to also get average for you. I want to show you something. Because, you know, when doing analysis, you must have a way of checking what you did to know if they are correct. Right? What I want there is not sum. What I want is average. No, you're giving me sum. Sorry, give me a minute, yeah? Okay, well, yeah, that's correct. So that's, okay, let me leave the average of the students. Yeah, that's the average of the students at the end of the day. The average is 58, right? You can see that the cells just highlighted. Yeah, I didn't need to put the individual cells, right? So that's because there are several cells on top of it and there's no break in between. So it just understands that possibly that's what you're trying to find an average of. So I've treated addition, right? Done. I've treated average, done, right? So now let's treat the grades, right? Let's take the grade, for example. So let's say a student that scored above 70 got an A, student that got above 60 got a B, student that got above 50 got a C, then the rest failed, right? So how do we make our system compute something like that, right? So that's the question. So now, I remember I talked about if. So the function if is very important in doing something like that. Take, for example, you want to classify a particular thing, you can use the if function to grade it or to classify it, right? So let me show you what I mean. Take, for example, if, right? You must put an equal to there because you're writing if, right? So an if function requires you to put a logical test, right? A logical test. So what is the logical test now? I want to test if the total for mathematics, for example, let me say this is the total for mathematics for Olu. If the total is greater than or equal to 50, right? Okay. So that is the logical test, right? If F4 is greater than or equal to 50, you put, that means the person got a C.
You don't need to.
Please, somebody who
So
is
you don't need to
mute
buy
yourself.
another this thing now.
Please mute yourself, please. Okay. So if the person got a C, right? If the person got greater than or equal to 50, got a C. Otherwise, he failed. So it told me that there's an error there. There's something not correct there. So let's check that and see. See, there's a problem with this formula. Not trying to type a formula. When the first character is an equal or minus sign, Excel thinks it's a formula. Type 1 plus 1. What is that? Of course, it's a formula. Oh.
Maybe you didn't put equal to.
Don't worry, I'll tell you what I did put. So you see, this is a grade, right? Is a grade or is an when you're using a grade for something, you put it in a quotation mark, right? So these are supposed to be in quotation mark. So that was what I did. Sorry about that. Can you see that? So when you're trying to write your logical, I could as well have put this C in a box and reference the box, right? I mean, in a cell and reference the cell. C and F. What do I mean? Rather than writing it this way, right? I could have said, sorry, let me do something here. Let me write A. Let me write B. Let me write C. And let me write F, right? So I could as well have said equal to if, right, this cell, right, is greater than or equal to 50, right? If it's true, if the value, if this particular statement I just made now greater than or equal to 50 is true, that means the person got a C, right? Which is in cell A4, right? Otherwise, the person got an F, which is in cell A5, right? I can put it like this, and I still get the same response. So do you understand the two methods I just explained now? So I can put those grades somewhere and reference those grades, or I can include it in my formula. And when including it in my formula, those values, if true, should be in quotation mark. Take, for example, C should now be in quotation mark. Or, yeah, C should not be in quotation mark. Either one will give me what I want. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
so I've only done for C now. If I double click that, it gives me only C and F because that is the only criteria I put in my formula. So students can only get C or F. Well, we know that that's not the only thing we want to do. We want to include more. We want some people to get A if they deserve it, like based on their score. We want some people to get B if they deserve it based on their score, right? So I have to write the formulas to include all that, right? So based on what I've written so far, I can only see that I only have C and F, right? Look at it, C, and F. So now I have to modify my formula and include more stuff, right? So I will include some more if function. Let me say if, right? Right? If the same F4, right, is greater than or equal to 70, right? That means the person got an A. Remember, it must be in a quotation mark. Otherwise, right, the person got maybe a C or an F. This is what I've written so far. So let me take it as this, right? Remember, when you open a bracket, please, in any language you're writing at, or whether Python or something, when you open a bracket, you must close it. So I opened this first bracket, I closed it at this end. I opened the second bracket, I closed it at this end. If you notice, the two brackets have different colors, just to make you understand that, okay, this opening bracket closes at this point, and this opening bracket closes at this point. Does it make sense? Yeah, I think. So you must use your, you must always open and close your brackets for you to get the correct response. We found a typo. What typo did you find? We found a typo here. I'm trying to correct it still. Yes. So that's what you, so now it has been effected, right? So if F4 is greater than or equal to 70, the person gets an A. Otherwise, they will check if the person got greater than or equal to 50 and give it a C, right? If the person doesn't still get greater or equal to 50, the person obviously gets an F, right? So if I bring this down now, let me say I take it down, you can now see that some people have A. Can you say that? Some people have A, some people have A, right? People that scored above 70. We'll go further to include people that got above 60, between 60 and 70, so that B can be included in the grading. So you can see, when I'm trying to write A, it stopped somewhere around here, right? So from there, I'm going to include people that got B. So if, right, I open my brackets, if cell F4, that's my reference, is greater than or equal to 60, right, I get a B. Otherwise, I leave my answer as, if the person gets less than 60 now, this other formula is considered, right? So if the person gets less than 60, it becomes, does the person get 50 or greater than 50? If so, it gets a C. If not, it gets an F. So why is it always bringing this? Okay, sorry. Now I open the bracket here. Now I open the bracket here, right? I must also close the bracket here. That's why it's telling me that, right? And I click enter, right? So if F4 is greater than or equal to 70, give me an A. If F4 is greater than or equal to 60, give me a B. If F4 is greater than or equal to 50, give me a C. Otherwise, give me an F. That's what this formula is simply saying. Right? So I click it down so that it applies to the others. And it gives me, you can see you have C, you have B, you have A, and you have F. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
So that's it. Any question? Okay, so
Sorry.
we've been able to. You
Sorry,
said?
before you go. So should the closing brackets be always at the ending?
Yes, certainly. Certainly, yeah.
Okay.
Because look at it, for example. The first bracket now, this is the first opening bracket, right? It does not close until this end. Are you following now? Then this is the second bracket now. It opens up here. It does not close until this end, right? And the last bracket, it opens here. So it becomes the first bracket to close. So the last bracket to open is the first bracket to close. The first bracket to open is the last bracket to close. Does that make sense?
It does. Thanks.
Yeah. Okay, for the position now, when you talk about position is simply ranking, isn't it? Yeah, so what we're going to be using there is, ranking. So equal to rank, right? So you open the brackets, number, you're going to reference what you want to rank. So I want to reference the entire row, right? So the reference order, right? So do you want it to be in ascending or descending order? I can put ascending order there.
Sorry, please check. It seems you're ranking the average also.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, possibly that's why, right? Let me see. Yeah, it should. So I'm going to include all this, right? And reference order is ascending.
Is this because you didn't put an apostrophe or a colon because of one?
You said?
So I said, you said once we are writing the number, we have to put a colon before
Okay,
and after.
see, yeah, that's fine. So I'm referencing, I want to get the ranking of this 54.53, right? What am I comparing it with? That's the question. I'm comparing it with this entire column, right? So I include that entire column. Right? Then the question is, do I want it in descending or ascending order? I want it in ascending order, right? I will explain that again because that's very important. So now, the first thing you do is, what cell do you want to rank? I want to rank the first cell for mathematics, which is Olu. 54 point something, right? What am I comparing it with? I'm comparing with the entire scores in mathematics. So I ensure that I light between F4 to F22, right? So now the question is, what do you want it? Do you want it, how do you want it? You want it in ascending or in descending order? I said ascending, actually it should be in descending order, right? So that the biggest number will become first. So it should be in descending, right? Then usually 0, 0 stands for descending and 1 stands for ascending. Is that okay? So that's why I wrote 0 there, so you don't get confused. And I simply click enter. So I do the same. I go down to the right down corner and I double click. That gives me the position for the other people in mathematics. So the first person is Lawrence. Lawrence scored the highest in mathematics and he got 80.42, right? The second person is Fela. He got 73.59. The fourth person now is the third, rather, is Ami. She got 72.64. The next, and so on and so forth, right? It has just helped us rank the entire thing. Does it make sense? Any question based on this?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Okay.
Sorry, but there are, if we want to do it like first, second, I think there are like 3 seconds or so, because Elliot, Gavin, and Martins have the same score, the same position, yeah.
Thank you for bringing that to my attention. Why?
Yeah, you're right.
You're right, and that's not correct.
I think because you use 70 as the basis.
Yeah, it's because we use 70 as the basis. So
Even there are 3. Second position, there are 3. Even there are 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. Fela.
All right, give me a minute. Let me show why that happened. So I'm copying. I want to paste just the value because right now, if you notice, there's a formula on each of the cells. Let me be sure that that's not the reason why. So I go there, I paste just the values. I'm supposed to explain that. I'll explain it. Just give me a minute. Let me check this to be sure. And I come back here, F4, right? Between F4 to F22, and in ascending order. 2, 2, 2, 9. First, yeah, you're correct. That shouldn't be. Has it corrected itself now? No, there are still 2 numbers. 47.36. Okay. But
I feel there's an error already.
you said?
There's an error already because Grace is having a second grade. Lawrence and Paul having a second grade.
I didn't hear you.
It's still the same.
You said it's still the same.
Yes.
Okay, let's try this because it doesn't make sense.
I think the issue is the grade is already is 70 on dots, and that's why he's taking it as anything that is above
Anything
70
above 70 is B.
is, yeah. No, anything below 70 is B. But anything above 70 is taking it as A. So he's looking at all the 70 and above as just 70. If I'm right.
So automatically you
I
have
think
an A at the second position.
I think
Right.
the issue is from the formula. If you look at Kehinde, for example, if you look at the ranking, F5, then the comparison this thing is starting instead of starting from F4, it's starting from
Exactly.
F5. So
Yeah,
it's
that's
excluding
it.
F4. That's where the issue is.
You didn't lock it. You didn't lock the range. Yeah, that's it. You didn't lock the range.
Thank you for pointing that out to me. I'm so grateful. Thank you so much. Yeah, because I'm wondering, okay, so now, yeah, somebody used the word lock, right? Let me explain what that word means. In Excel, there's something called relative reference, and there's something called absolute reference, right? Relative reference is when you are comparing one thing with another box, right? Absolute reference now is more like a fixed box, right? So now, if you notice F4, right, we're comparing we want to compare all the results with F4 to F22. So this is supposed to be an absolute reference, which is what like he called it, which is called the locking of the cells, right? But what he did, because I was taken aback, I wasn't expecting that. Yeah, what he did was he wasn't using now the absolute reference. He was not comparing each of the figure. I noticed that's why I was going through each of them individually. If you notice now, rather than F4 to F22, this one started from F7 to F25. This one started from, right, and went on and on. Do we get what I'm saying?
Yes.
Oh, I've done something there. Into what is that?
Yes, they're all beginning with the
Yes. So let me explain what you do to lock that now. So click on that particular aspect that you want to lock, or you want to make an absolute reference, right? And put a $sign on it. How do you do that? You simply click function F4. That's if you are using that's if you are using
desktop,
a desktop, or a laptop that's not Mac. That's if you're using what is it called?
Windows.
A Windows, thank you. That's if you're using Windows. So use F4 and function F4, right? So that helps you to make it an absolute reference. If you are using Mac, to be frank with you, I can't remember that. I used to know it, but I can't remember it at the moment. I know it's a bit different, but try it. If it works, good. If it doesn't work, I can't remember that at the moment. You can just manually put the $sign on yours. If it doesn't work for you, it will still work. Is that okay? But if you use the F4 and function key, it will put the $sign for everything for you there. So if you put it and you click enter, right, and you do the same thing we did earlier, you should now see the correct results. Thank you very much, that person that used the word lock. So that makes sense, isn't it? You can see that it's distinct now.
Sorry, excuse me. Where am I putting the $? Is it on the position, or is it the position part?
Yes, you put it in what you're comparing it with. You're comparing it with the cell from F4 to F22. So you don't want this F4 to change at any point, which we noticed in the former stuff. You want it to remain, that's what is called locked. You want it to remain absolute. You don't want it
Okay,
to.
so I'm looking from the other F4.
So no, not from that. Please don't touch that F4, because if you lock that F4, it will continuously, it will be thinking that is the only cell you want to consider. You don't want to consider other cell. We want it to be able to change from F4 to F5 to F6 to F7 to F22. But you are considering that with what list? That's the question. The list now remains constant.
Okay.
Right? Which is F4 to F22. Does that make sense?
Okay, so I'm using, is it Control F4 I'm using?
No, you're using function F4. So you see one thing in your system, Fn.
Okay, all right.
That's,
all right.
yeah, function Fn.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. So that gives you the ranking. Our time is fast spent. Yeah, we've done ranking. Done. I will not do for maths and English, for English and science. I will expect you to complete that on your spare time, at least with what you've learned. But it's clear, isn't it? Do we have any question based on this? No. Okay, let's move on, please. Sequence. You can do a sequence. Let me explain for you how to do a sequence. Take, for example, this data on this table. I didn't, of course, I don't have students. I'm not teaching, I'm not a teacher, right? So how do I get these numbers? You don't expect me to go take the time to manually put this in, because I don't have that time. So I just generated numbers. So I'm going to teach you how to generate numbers quickly, right? Using sequence and using which other thing did I put there? Okay, generate random numbers, right? So I'm going to teach you how to get that. Let's take, for example, I want to generate numbers equal to sequence, for example. I want it to be, you know, if you did mathematics a bit, you know what is called arithmetic progression, right? And while doing arithmetic progression, you know, if you have a number 2 and it's progressing with it's progressing in 2s. So you should expect that after 2, the next number should be 4, should be 6, should be 8. So you can do that here, right? So take, for example, I have sequence. What am I doing? I have sequence, right? And the question is, I want to form a matrix out of this sequence, right? I can decide that, okay, it shouldn't be a matrix. If it's not a matrix, it can just be 1, right? Then I want how many numbers? Let me say I want 6 numbers, right? And then where should it start from? Let me say it should start from 5, right? What should be the steps, right? Let me say the steps should be in 9, right? So it should be 5. 5 plus 9 should be what? 14. So I'm telling you what to expect. 14 plus 9 should be what? So that's what we should expect to see. Let me see what it will bring out. Can you see what I just did? So I got 5, 14, 23, 32, 41, 50. So what you're just doing is 5 plus 9, 14, 14 plus 9, 23, 23 plus 9, 32, 32 plus 9, 41, 41 plus 9, 50. So this is what sequence do, right? I can as well say, okay, no, I don't want just this row, right? I want maybe a matrix. Let me say I want a 6 by 6 matrix, right? Let's see what it will bring for. You can see it brought, so 6, 14, 23, 32, 41, 50, 59, 68, 77, 86, and so on and so forth. Does that make sense? So with this number, with this formula, I've been able to generate a sequence of numbers. All right? So I can just go there, because one thing is when you're using formulas, there are some things you cannot do because a formula is written with those numbers. So as much as possible, when you've used a formula to generate something, you want to do what is called copy and paste. But the paste is not the normal pasting that we usually do, is paste only values. right? Because if you
Hello,
paste,
sorry, please.
yeah,
Sorry, please. I don't understand where this sequence number is coming from. This 6659, please. Like, why in the sequence in the results, why is it in lines? Like it was counting in lines. Why was it counting it in 6 or in 5? Like, I don't really get.
I explained that earlier, and I'm going to explain it again.
Thank you. I'm so
So
sorry.
pay attention.
Okay.
Okay, take for example, I want the rows to be 6. I want the columns to be 6. It can be anything. That's what you decide, yeah? And the question is, the next question the formula will want you to answer is, where do you want to start from? Who answered that question? Please be with me. Where do you want the number to start from?
To start from 4.
Okay. So now, what progression do you want it to make? Do you what numbers do you want it to add on 4 as a mixed progression?
Okay, let's do 8.
Okay. So that's all it wants from you. If you put your closing bracket and you click enter, right, it generates that for you.
Okay, thank you.
So what you have now is 4. Let me see.
6 by 6.
Okay, 8 plus 4 is 12. 12 plus 8. Oh, I get now.
Start from 4. The progression 8. Then is the 6 by 6 matrix. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So does it make sense now?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Okay. So, like I said, there are some things you cannot do with formulas under it. So it's just safe to just copy, right? So copy it, right? Go to the first box, right? Click the first box, right? You see a paste sign there. Oh, what just happened? We couldn't copy the content to the clipboard because that's total. Okay, give me a minute. So I copy it first, right? Then I go to home. There are several ways you can do it. Like you can right click and you can see there's a paste here, but that's not what I want to do. I want to use the values because that's what I'm interested in. So values to be pasted. So when I go to that same box where I wrote the formula on earlier, I see that what I'm having is not formula. What I'm having is numbers. So it now looks like a normal number, though it was generated from a formula. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, it does.
Let me explain how you can generate random number. All right. There's a lot I thought to teach today, but my time is 20 minutes left. Okay. So generate random number. What do I do if I want to generate random number? I simply go to formula and I do random, right? Random array, right? So random array. So this is what I want to do, right? He asked me, how many rows do I want? So somebody should tell me, how many rows should we use? Let's say 3. How many column? Let's say 5. What is the minimum number? Oh, sorry. That should be a comma, not a full stop. What is the minimum number? Let me say the minimum number should be 6, right? What should be the maximum number? The maximum number should be 15, right? And the next question is, should it be a decimal or an integer? So if you want a decimal number, if you want it to include a decimal number, you could put plus. If you want it to include only integers, you could put true. But if you decide not to put anything, it will only give you integers, right? So let me say I want it to be only integers. So I don't bother to answer true or false. I just put a, and I click that. Sorry, didn't do what I asked it. True. I want it to be integers, right? So please specify, or else it will give you only that, it will give you decimals. Default setting is decimals. I thought it was. So you can see 13, 10, because we set our numbers to be between 6 to 15. So what we are seeing here are numbers between 6. Is there 6 here? Yes, there's 6 here. Is there 15 here? No, there's no 15. What we have is 13. But all the numbers here are between 6 to 15. So you can just generate numbers, all right? So you do the same thing as what I did earlier. You copy and paste, all right? So that those formulas are not there any longer. But when you copy and paste, it changes anyway. But it still gives you those numbers between 6 and 15. There's a way you do it so it doesn't change. Can I remember that? But that's how to generate number. Does that make sense? And use it for anything you choose to use it for. Okay. So the maximum number, how can I decide what is the maximum number and the minimum number without, take for example, you have 200 sets of data, like we have 22 numbers here, or sometimes you can have, usually if you know, Jesus Christ, I'm not going to data cleaning. They have 15 minutes more, less than 15 minutes. Can we do more 20 minutes after 7 o'clock? Would that be okay?
Yes,
Yes,
I was going to say
problem.
that. I was going to say that because we started
Very
late, kind of.
session.
Okay. Because I have a lot here. It's just looking like I've been playing. Okay, I think it's looking like I didn't manage my time properly. Okay. Oh, I prepared too much.
20 minutes extra is fine.
Okay. Let's see the maximum. Take for example, I want to get the maximum score this I want to get the maximum score for mathematics, for example. So all I need is to do equal to max, right? And I get the entire cells that I want to sort out the maximum score for, right? And I close the bracket and it gives me that score. 80.40 is the maximum score, which is obviously Lawrence, right? That's why I got Vexen. So I want to get the minimum score. The same thing, right? I do minimum, right? I light the entire cells.
18.
Right, and I close my bracket and I click enter and it gives me the minimum score, which is 30.25. Right? Any question on that? Right.
It's clear.
Okay. So minimum done. Absolute and relative cells. We've done that. Can somebody remember when we did absolute and relative cell, how to do that?
Sure.
Yeah, when we put a $sign on it to lock it, that was you doing absolute and relative, right? So sometimes when you are considering, in fact, you use it a lot, right? Some of which would, of course, we'll not be doing a lot of calculations like this. We'll be doing visualizations, pivot table as time goes on. So it might not be, but just know that that's very, very important. It's key. Count. You can also use count. Take, for example, I want to count this entire cell, right? I want to count the entire cell in the mass column, right? Let me say, for example, count. This is just an example, yeah? It might not be relevant, but you should know how to use counts, yeah? So count here. I put the cells that I want to count. I want to count from here to all the way down to, it will not work. This particular thing will not work, and I will tell you why. But let's just try. Let's just see it. I'll tell you why. Oh, it did. Okay. Yeah, it did work. Count, right? So it counted the entire cells from this, right? From C4 to what now? To U4. I felt because there was open spaces here to not work. That's why I was saying that to not work. But it does work. And I think it counts the blank cells too. Let's count. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So it only counted did you understand what it counted? It only counted cells that contain something. It didn't count the blank cell. That's what I was trying to say earlier. So it counts anyway, but it only counts cells that contains things in it. So it didn't count these blank cells. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so if you want to count the blank cells, this is what you do. So it only counts the blank cells for you. Count. If you do count blank equal to count, right? There's a count blank function which helps you count. Take for example, you have a series of cells. You want to count how many blanks are there. You can use this to know that, right? So it tells me that there are 4 blanks inside the cell I just highlighted. So that will help you a lot when you're doing data cleaning to know how many cells are blank and possibly look out for them and ensure that they are removed or they are worked on, right? So that's that. And sometimes it also does not count. Okay, let me show you something. If I do count, for example, right? I'm just showing you different scenarios so that you understand. I start from Olu, right? Start from Olu all the way to average, and I close the bracket and I do enter. If you notice, it still gave me 15, right? Even though one more cell was now added, which is Olu. So it didn't consider Olu, even though there was something in it. Why?
Because the text.
Because it's a test, right? So you only use count for numbers. If you wanted to count a test, in fact, all of them are tests, right? Yeah, both numbers and yeah. Okay, values rather is a test, right? So if it's a test, it does not count. To make it count both tests and values, what you need to do is you need to add a there, right? Okay. So enter. If you notice, it has now increased, right? Right. It has now included that Olu. And which other thing? It counted this grade. That's what accounted for the 2 numbers, 2 extra numbers that was there. So Olu and C. If you add this now to grade, you see that it increases again and all the rest. But does that make sense? So I've taught you the different types of count functions, and those will be very relevant. Done. So, are you all right? Are you all right? Okay, I'll see you soon, yeah? Sorry, guys, just give me a minute. You want it? You're welcome. Okay, so that is that. Count if, yes, you can count if too, yeah? Count if, let's see. I can say equal to count if. So take, for example, I want to count if this, right, comma, is equal to 10. That equal to 10 should be in quotation mark. So that means I have just 110 in this column. I just from I45 to M45, right? I have just 110, which is this, right? Let me say I want it in this entire matrix, which is 3 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3 by 5, right? All I need to do is to come here, right? And ensure that I get the whole. What am I doing? Sorry, give me a minute. Okay, count if. Oh, no. So this is 10, right? And I want to do a count if. Right? I want to consider this entire matrix, right? Is greater than, let me say greater than or equal to 10. Or equal to 10. Right? And I close the bracket. So it tells me that I have 8 numbers that are greater than or equal to 10. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Why didn't it show me 8 then? Oh, I didn't count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
You counted 9. Included in 9 in one of the sequence.
You said?
It's actually 8.
Yeah.
You counted
Okay,
9
it's
on
8.
the
Okay. Okay, that means that's correct too. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so that's 8 numbers. Can you see? So that's how you use count if. Then we have count ifs too. That's multiple function. But I will just leave this for, right? So we can do a bit of data cleaning with the remaining 20 minutes. Is that fair? Is that fair?
Yes, please. Let's do some data cleaning.
Sure.
Yeah, let's do some data cleaning.
Fair.
Okay, so this is the data set that we're going to be using, right? Of course, this is small data. Sometimes it's far more than this. How many rows do we have? We have just about 508 rows. And so sometimes it can be far more than this, but the principles, that's what I'm trying to explain to you, is a principle. You can use the same principle irrespective of the numbers of cells and columns that you have, right? So now, if you look at it, this particular data set, they are two joined together and can even make it difficult for you to read them or to see what is in the entire cell. So what do? I simply can ensure that I get the entire cell, right? I can press Shift, Control, right? The arrow end, and the arrow down to include all the cells, right? After I've done that, I just come here. You can see what I'm doing. Put your cursor at the in between any of the column divider and just double click. That just helps spread your. Not supposed to do for everyone. Not supposed to do this one after the other. Okay. So with that, your cells are properly spread out so that you can effectively see what you're working on. Yeah. So with that now, I can see it more clearly. I can see that this is a data set of maybe songs, the year they were released, their albums, the artist, the genre of the song, the subgenre, right? And the total sales, right, of that particular song. So this is a data set about a particular music. So there are certain things you look out for in a data set. One of them is the blank space. These blank space are not needed. In fact, it's not part of the data set. And sometimes you can even have, take for example, I could have, let me see, all this is here. I'm showing you different scenarios now. Oh, okay. Why is it looking like it's merged? I don't want it merged. So merge, I want to unmerge. So yeah. Thought I copied that now. Let me say I copied this and I come here and I paste this. So there are different types of blank space or missing data. We call it missing data, right? There are different types of missing data you would have to handle. Take, for example, in this particular case, there was nothing given at all, which is easy to deal with. You just remove it. There was nothing at all in that entire row, right? There was nothing at all. And that's fine. All you need to do in a case like that is just to delete. So how do we do that? Let's just deal with that first before we move on. So we just go to find and select, right? Under find and select, you see, go to special. And under go to special, you have blanks. So I want to take note of all the blanks, right? And I click OK. That highlights all the blanks for me. All the blanks. And when I mean all the blanks, that includes, take for example, in this particular row 7, can you see row 7? Yes, there were some data in row 7, but we are not giving the year that particular data song was released, and we are not giving the total sales, so it's considered as blank. So after doing that, after highlighting all the blanks, what do? You come here and you click, can you see under the Home tab, you have a delete button over here, close to just after insert, right? So you click delete. And what do you want to do? You want to delete cells. Okay. Sorry. Delete sheet. Okay. What just happened? Okay, 2 ways of handling that here. Yeah? So I can just delete. Delete cells, shift cells up, entire row. So you use the column shift cells up, right? And you click OK. So that deletes, let me see. That should delete, what is happening here? So the same thing, you go to find and select, you go to special, you want only blanks, okay, and it brings in the blanks for you. Then Then you click delete. That should delete blanks. I wonder why it's coming up like that. Okay. So do you see what it just did? Let me undo it and explain that, because it wasn't working at first. I wonder why. So now it has noted all the blanks for me, like I just showed you. You go to find and select, you go to special. After taking note of that, you come to, you delete, right? So you delete, you shift cells up, right? You click OK. So that automatically deletes those empty cells for you. Does that make sense? So that's one of the things that you will find yourself using a lot as you move on. Okay. Another thing that you would use is, so that's taking care of blank cells. Another thing you can do is to take, for example, let me show you an example of what I'm trying to say. If you notice, there are spaces, like there's a space here, right? There are spaces that you might not need, spaces that are irrelevant in the tests, in a different test that you have. So you want to ensure that those are taken care of, because they could pose a problem while you're trying to carry out. Take, for example, in Excel, this bulb now that has a space between it and this bulb that doesn't have any space. They are two different things. You could see that if you're doing, take, for example, you use a filter, right? A filter, right? You come here. Let's go to, you can see that we have Bob, Dylan. I'm trying to show you the two differences, the Bob with a space and the Bob without a space. So you find out that both of them will come out like if they are different. Okay, so my filter does not show it. But when you're, let me come down and check. Bob. Okay, basically that's what, so there are several spaces in between. Sometimes there can also be space at the end, right? When you want to take care of all those spaces, both the ones that you are seeing and the ones that are not seen, right? The trim function is very important for you to do that. So I will just explain how you can arrange things like that. Let me take, for example, the Beach Boys, and there are a lot of space there and the others. So the first thing you want to do is, just leave this row, get another row to do that. Insert, I want to insert a row, right, which you have just done for me. I can go there, put equal to, trim, right? Put a open sign and put the text that I want to trim, right? And put enter, right? What that does for me is that it takes care of irrelevant space, like I said before, both the ones you're seeing and the ones you are not seeing, possibly, right? It just takes care of it. So if I double click it and everything else comes down, you see that in this one that there was a space before it, right? Like we said earlier, right? There's no space on this one. Why? Is because it has helped to trim that and there's no longer space in between it. Or else they'll be showing us two different data, even though we're still dealing with one particular data, Bob Dylan. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. So that helps to take care of spaces before in between, and after. So take note of that function. Another function that you might want to
Hello,
know.
sorry, I just want to ask, sorry,
Okay.
before we continue. Is it that you cannot perform this function on this already created column? You need to open a new column to actually carry this out.
Yes, you need to, if you noticed, right, I referenced this column, right? So there's no way I can reference this column. There's no way I can I reference this cell, C2. There's no way I can reference this cell when I'm working on the cell. I don't know if you get what I'm saying.
Yes, I do.
So for me to reference the cell, I must leave that cell there, even though I must later I can copy this and paste it here and delete this one, but I cannot do it on it. Does that make sense? Okay. So
sorry, before you go on. So what if you have spaces in different columns? Maybe you have somewhere in A, you have somewhere in B, you have somewhere in C.
So you must trim all of them. So I've trimmed for C now. Let me say there's these spaces, unnecessary spaces in this B. So all I need to do is to insert there too, right? Put my distance there, put equal to trim, right? And click enter. So that helps me trim any space that I might have there, and I also drop it down to get the rest. So that's what you do for every, I'm undoing that because I know there's no distance there. That's what you do for all the data, all the column that you are sure that, or that you think that they are possibly having unnecessary spaces. And that cleans that up. Okay, so another thing that you need to know is called standardization, right? If you notice this particular cell, does that even apply here? This seems to be a clean data set. I thought it was should have shared the, okay. Let me say this, for example. What I have there is the Clash, right? Let me say this, for example. What I have there is Nirvana, right? Let me say they are just different. Let me say what I have here is actually all capital letter. They are all capital letter. And the rest. Michael, what again? Michael, what was there before?
Jackson.
Okay, Michael Jackson. Okay. I just wanted to be sure that it was actually Michael Jackson. So if you notice this formatting, they are different. Some are in capital letter, fully capital letter, some are in small letters, some are in, right? You want to make all of them look maybe all capital, or small, or all proper, right? So those are three functions that you need to know while trying to standardize a data set. You must know when you want to use proper. Take, for example, I want everything here to be on proper. I want to do it here. So let me get a new column for the insert, right? I want everything on the artist, the name of the artist, to be in proper noun, for example, or let me say in uppercase or in capital letters. So all I need to do is to say upper, right? I click on the sign that I want it to be in upper, I mean the cell, and I click OK. So can you see what that has done for me? The Beatles, from here being in proper to here that's on small, right? If I click it down, everything else changes to all uppercase or all capital letters. So that's for upper.
So please, can you do that again?
The formula I show you here, right? Can you see the formula here?
Yes.
Oh, so if I want everything to be in capital letter, I just use upper. I reference the cell, right? And I click enter. So that makes it, that brings, and I click on, I've been doing that. So you click on this and it gives you the rest.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. I could also want all of them to be in lowercase, the same thing, right? So you click, yeah, it's lower.
Hi, sorry, please, I want to confirm something.
Okay.
In a case like this, can you combine two functions, like the uppercase and a trim?
Yes, we will do it now.
All
Just
right.
give me a minute. So that's the lower. With that now, you can see that everything becomes in lower or in small letters, right? And lastly, you can use the proper noun, which makes everything comes in proper. That means the first letter will be capital, while the rest should be small letter. So you can do it in any way you choose to. Can you see the different changes? Okay. So now let me say I want to apply, like you just said now, I want to apply a trim, right? And the proper. So I can say proper, right? I open a bracket, trim, then C2, right? So what this is simply telling me is, first of all, trim C2, right? And anything you get, make it a proper noun. That's what that is telling me. If I click enter, that takes care of both the proper and the trim at once, right? And I double click to make it apply to everybody. Well, I think I prefer uppercase. Let me leave it as upper. Right? So that's that. So that's one of the things you might want to do, right? And also, you might want to find and replace. Let me take, for example, this add rock. There's already data here. Do you want to replace it? Wait first. Let me take, for example, this add rock, and I want to replace it with maybe rock. I don't want add rock. I just want to see rock there. How do I do it? So I simply click on it, right? I find and select, replace. Can you see what I'm doing? So the question is saying, find what? What am I looking for? I want to find add rock. Add rock. And replace it with just rock. All right? So I can find all and replace. So replace. Replace all rather. Right? So it tells me that there are 350 replacements. So there are 350 add rock, right? In this our data set. So it had just done a replacement for me. So if I look at my data set now, I won't be seeing add rock again. All I'll be seeing is rock. And this is very useful, right? Very, very useful. Okay. So, and even for something like this, sorry, give me a minute. Take, for example, this column, there's no, I know that this is total sales. Total sales should be in, is money, isn't it? And of course, I should want it to have some sign. So I want to apply $sign to it. So I come here, I click on currency, right? And it just applies pounds for me. But Take, for example, I don't want it to be pounds. I want it to be maybe dollars or something else, right? I can still go there and change it, right? This is where you change it. You can see the currency sign here, right? Maybe I want it to be in dollars, so I can go there and change it to dollars. Or whatever I want it to be, more accounting formats, right? It gives me more signs, right? So there are more symbols here I can get, right? To get the exact symbol that I want to use for that particular stuff. Okay, let's talk about removing
I have a
duplicates.
question, please.
You said?
Sorry, I wanted to ask a question.
Okay, but we should be rounding off now. So ask your question,
So where
and
you
then
have
I
a
teach
data
you how to.
set,
You said?
where you have a data sets like first names and last names, and they are not properly, they're not in proper order. You want to make last names capital and the first names small. Full first name, last names all capital, first names small, proper nouns. Is there a function that you can do that?
There is no one function you can use for that, but there's a way around it.
Okay.
Yeah. Should I explain that now, or we start?
Yeah, maybe you can use the Beatles. These columns you created for the Beatles, the names, and explain it.
Okay, let's just do it. Let's just do it. The first thing you want to do, like I said, there's no one formula for it. The first thing you want to do is to split the cell, right? So I click it, right? And I go to split cells. Can I remember that? Yeah, I think I should. So I click on that. I go to data, test to column, right? You see what I'm doing? Please learn. This is very important also, even though it was not part of the class today. First of all, like I said, this formula thing, you can see that the formula is being referenced here. What I want to work on is not formulas. What I want to work on is the values inside that cell, not the formulas. So I'm going to close here back. I'm going to copy and paste. Control Shift down to highlight everything down. I'm going to copy it. Then I'm going to paste it back, right? But when I'm pasting now, I should ensure that these values I'm pasting, right? So if I click on each of them, I will not be seeing the formulas any longer. All I'll be seeing is the content, more like the name, right? So I can go back there and do test to column, but I highlight that row, test to column, right? Delimiter. Yes, I want to use a delimiter, right? What does delimiter mean? Delimiter is what is used to separate these two columns that we're talking about now. So of course there's a space there. A space is a delimiter. So next, right? So is it a tab? Is it a semicolon? Is it a comma? Is it a space? Is it a space? So I click on space, right? If you notice, there are lines separating each word in space, right? So I click next or finish, right? There's already data here. So you must apply a rule there first before you can do this. Sorry, I forgot to do that. So I insert a rule, right? And I come and do it again. But there are three rows I should apply there because there are some that are 3 words. But I think okay. Some are even more than 3, so that might be a problem now. I wish I have something like that you just talked about in just 2 column. Okay, let me see if it will work now. Test to column, right? Next, what I want is a space in between, and let me say finish. There's already data here. Why this is coming up is because, take for example, this is 4. So I need 4 rows for this. Here I have just 3 spare rows. So it's going to be a bit of problem. Okay, let me undo this.
So is it possible to just work with like the first 5 lines?
Yeah, that's what I want to do exactly. So I'm going to come down here. Sorry, we've exceeded our time. I really don't like doing this because and I even have other things to attend to, but let me see if I can finish as soon as possible. Then I come here, test the column, delimiter, next, right, space, yeah, finish. So you can see that this is now spread out. Can you see it? So the Beatles, boys, the Beetle, the beach, the boys. Take, for example, like you said, I want to change this to, I want to change this particular row to capital letter. What did you say again? They're already in capital letter, isn't it? Yes. Then this one, they're already, I want to change it to small letter or proper noun. Let me say proper noun, right? So all I need to do, remember that has to be in, I can't do that inside that box because I have to reference it. So let me say, because of that, let me say I copy it. Let me get a new sheet for that. I have a reason why, or else I would just, let me cut. I'll just spoil what I'm working on already, which will not be nice. Let me do it in sheet 1. Okay, so I want to insert column here. Then let me say equal to proper. Please, your spelling must also be correct, or else you have issues. So that just gives me the Beatles in, so I drag down, right? And it gives me just the proper noun, right? So I've gotten the first part. The next thing you want to do is to join back because the name and surname was in a cell, unless if you want them to be in a different cell, which is fine. But if you want them to be on a particular cell, like we separated it, we need to put them together. So all we need to do is to do what we call test join. Test join, right? What delimiter do you want? I want a space, right? I want just a space, right? Ignore empty space. Then what are the tests that I want to join together? I want to join this and this together. I click enter.
No. It's D and the other one.
You said?
It should be J rather. It should be.
Oh, yes, you're correct. And J, right? So we have a delimiter, ignore empty, which is true, 1, right? Ignore empty, true. And test join, which is A7. So I want to join this cell and this cell together. Then I click enter. So can you see that it has come together for me? So this is what you can do to bring them together. Have I answered your question?
Yes, you have. Thank you.
So if I drag down now, the rest come together for me just the way I did the first one. The Beatles, the beach. So that's how you can do that. There's no formula, one formula for putting it together. Can we stop here today? Yeah, it's a good place to stop. Please, we'll start from data, we'll continue from data cleaning the next class, but we have to stop now, or else I feel I'm already violating people's time and even my time too. So it's a good place to stop. Is there any question? Is there any question? Please ask a question if you have any. Search. Have we enjoyed the class?
Yes, of course.
Yes.
Yeah, even
I
though
was enjoying it.
yeah, even though I couldn't, I missed some parts, but I watched through the video.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah. Somebody else wanted to say something?
Yeah, basically, Judith, this is like my first time ever. Normally, I use Excel to just do normal stuff, and as a beginner. So, now, do you advise like after you send are you going to send a video like almost immediately or tomorrow? Because I would love to do everything one by one the way you were saying it on my own.
Yes, I'll send the video tomorrow. Is Wale?
Will it be done?
Hello, Wale.
Hi guys. Hi Samuel.
Yes, please. We need your response here.
Yeah, will the
Yes.
access be like longer access to be able to repeat the video, or it's just gonna be like once?
No, it's not. It's not going to be once. It's going to be uploaded on a Google Drive that you can always access, and then the link will be shared.
Right then. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You should get link latest tomorrow or Tuesday latest.
Hi, thank you very much. Although I got lost from way back because my network was really poor. But I'm sure with the recording I'll be able to catch up. I got lost right from the ranking part.
Okay.
In fact, but I'm sure I'll be able to catch up. It's very
Okay, that's fine.
interesting. Yeah, it's really interesting.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ajayi.
You're
welcome. It's been a lovely class, even though there are some parts that one or two persons would have missed, especially myself. I'm hoping that with the video, we'll be able to catch up.
Okay, if you have questions, we'll answer that in the next class. So thank you very much, everybody, for attending. I want to believe that you've enjoyed the class.
Thank you, Mr.
Yeah, sorry. Are
Ajayi.
you
so
sending us
much.
the worksheet too?
You mean the data set?
Yes, the data
Yes.
set.
Yeah.
Are you not able to download it from the group, from the chat?
No, I'm not on the chat. I got invited via email. I came from the email. I'm not on the
Ajay,
chat group.
do you hear me, Ajay, please?
You said?
Yeah, do you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Ajay. I am appreciating you and all the members here. My name is Talal Abdul Qadir. Really, this program, it is very interesting and I appreciate it well. So the question is, could you repeat again the question sets into the chart?
In this chat or on the WhatsApp group, which of them?
No, I'm not member WhatsApp group. Could you add me?
Okay.
Yeah,
the
I'm
link-
emailing you my number. I have your email.
Okay, that's fine then. I'll look for a way. I will share the
I just
data.
reshared it now in the chat. You can just check on it and save
Okay,
it.
yes. Somebody just reshared it
Oh
now, so you
yeah,
can get
thank
it from
you.
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, for the other person, can you access it from the chat now? Like this person, like it was just loaded. Who was the person that spoke before Tahir? A guy was speaking
Yeah,
earlier. Sorry.
I did. I'm trying to download it from the chat now. Thank you.
Yes, please.
Sorry, please, can you share the WhatsApp link?
Okay, I will.
Let me do that now. I've sent the WhatsApp link again.
Yes, for now, we are doing this for the next 4 weeks. So this is the first week. We have 3 weeks to go.
Okay, hello.
So
Just
please,
hello.
I hope to see all of you next week, please. Let the attendance not drop. Let's keep it alive. Let's ensure that yeah. So see you next
Hello,
week.
just add a bit. I think the WhatsApp group is also there for those who might be practicing later and have some questions to ask, or still have some pending questions that have not been answered during the training. You can actually drop your questions on the WhatsApp group, and then I think somebody will be there to respond.
That will be fine. Yeah, that's it. That's why the group is there. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you very much.
Okay, Wale, do you want to say anything, please? You were supposed to say something earlier.
I would just want to keep it brief because I've been driving all day. There's been terrible traffic everywhere. Anyway, thank you everyone. Thank you for this. This is just a preliminary session to the whole training. In all, we're going to be having 4 classes. And then afterwards, for those that want to advance into it, we can pick it up. Those ones will now be sessions where we would actually go deeper inside. And also, if you want to have someone like Jaya as your mentor, you can start building that relationship with him. This session was brought to us by Borderless Tech. It's just a way to support newbies that are just learning tech. So before you start spending so much money on your tech journey, this is just to expose you to the data analysis part of tech. And then if you think you want to take it further, then you're able to take it further and get a mentor that can even help you to up to the level where you can get a job. So that's all for now. I just said I should just say that off my head. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you, Samuel. You've done a wonderful job. I was listening and out. My network was breaking, but I'm sure you've been able to handle the class. So thank you, everyone. That's all for me for now.
Thank you very much, Wale. Thank you. I greatly appreciate it. Okay, thank you, everyone, for attending.
Thank you
See
so
you
much.
guys next week, Sunday.
By
Yeah.
God grace.
Yeah, see you. Bye.
Thank
All
you.
right, good night.
Yeah, bye. Good night. Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah.
I'm done with it, yeah. The truth.